Welcome guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Akuj and we're here on the Raw Food Glow, and today we're doing something different because we are joined by
Clinton, aka Fruit Kid.
Amen. And so today we're going to do a nice impromptu interview. Can you tell me about your diet and lifestyle?
Okay, so I've been practicing a fruit-based lifestyle for 13 years. And yeah, whenever I first started, it was predominantly starch-based, influenced by John McDougall, rest in peace. And it wasn't until I read the book, The Mucusless Diet Healing System, that I started to realize that the ideal food for humans was fruits, was fruit-based. So at that stage in university, whenever I was at the age of 19, I just started getting into consuming lots of dates, like a lot of dates, like 500 grams of dates in one sitting. And from there, it's just kind of spiraled into me just exploring fruit-based living, high raw living, doing experiments where I'm doing, over 274 days in a year just living on fruits and starchless vegetables. So yeah, it's pretty much where I'm at now, just practicing a high fruit lifestyle.
Wow, very impressive. And how would you describe the man that you've become and the man you would have been had you not started this diet and lifestyle?
Oh, that's an interesting question. So I think from moving in this direction, especially being vegan, learning about animal rights, and learning about what's happening in the world in terms of the level of suffering that's going on into the world, it's definitely made me a more compassionate individual, a more caring individual, someone who wants to stick up for the animals and defend animals. And I think that's just made me an overall kinder person, because to some degree I feel like I would have had to turn off my empathy to see what was happening to the animals being killed and slaughtered and stuff like that, and just decide that my taste buds were more important than all the craziness that I was seeing. So it's definitely made me a more compassionate person. It's made me someone who's really passionate about learning about health. Like, if you'd have told me whenever I was like 16 or something, you're going to be watching loads of videos on health and like doctors and stuff like that, I'd be like, what? No, give me the Xbox,
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's made me someone who just values learning, values just wanting to understand the world, and also help people. Like, I can't physically see a world where I'm not trying to help people. Like, I would be seriously bored. I'm like, what else are we put on earth if it's not to help one another? It just doesn't make sense to me. I would be seriously bored. So yeah, so more caring, more compassionate, I would say.
Very good qualities to have. Amen.
Thank you.
In the raw vegan space, a lot of people who are new to the lifestyle, they always wonder about health, but physical health in terms of fitness. So what's your approach to your fitness?
Oh, I like to do pretty much everything. I like to be holistic with it. Cardio, strength training, flexibility. I was just doing yoga in Tri Yoga, where we're located, and yeah, I like to come at it from all the angles, because I think it's important to have good cardio, and it's important to build muscle, build strength, especially as you age. Just the statistics of people who just kind of like fall over in their elder age just makes you really want to develop strong muscles in the legs. And yeah, flexibility, just so that you're not like achy and filled with tension and stuff like that as you age. So my approach is do an all-rounder. But if it was somebody who was just kind of getting into the lifestyle, I would just say just start walking more. Just try to get like 10,000 steps per day, and go from there.
Were you ever worried about losing your strength as a raw vegan person?
No, not one bit. Not one bit. I know everybody is so hyped up about like getting 100 grams of protein a day, 200 grams of protein a day. You're not a man if you don't eat lots of protein, etc. But I've never really worried about that. Whenever I started this lifestyle, my main concern was, how do I stop getting these debilitating boils that was plaguing me from the age of 16. So the foods that were causing that were the meat, the dairy products, etc. So whenever I hear these messages of you need a lot of like protein to build strength, it never made sense because in my head those are the foods that were causing me to have these cystic awful boils. So I just completely dismissed that, and I saw all these animals like the gorillas, the elephants, the rhinoceros, who ate a plant-based lifestyle, so fueled on greens. And you look at cows; cows are huge.
Yep.
And all they eat is grass. So, like, do we question that?
Yeah.
Do we question that? You're like, oh, is there protein in that grass, cow? So it never really bothered me. I saw lots of vegans who were, like, hench and strong. So never really had an issue with that whatsoever.
And what are your fitness goals for the next maybe 10 years by the time you hit 40?
Damn, 10. I'd like to get sub 20 in a 5K run. I think that would be amazing. I'd like to be able to do a 30 kilogram pull-up, maybe even 40 kilogram. Yeah, we'll go for 40. 40 kilogram by the age of 40?
Boy.
Yeah, 40 by 40. I'd like to enter a 10K race. I've never really been big on longer distance, but I'd love to be able to do something like that. And with flexibility, I would love to be able to do that scorpion thing that people. You ever seen the yogis doing that scorpion thing?
Where they're upright like this and they come down.
And the legs are over their head. Yeah. I'd love to be able to do that.
Well,
I think that'd be pretty cool.
It seems doable actually, because I've seen a lot of older yogis do that as well. Very strong in their 50s and 60s, and some of the yogis coming from India, they've done that with ease.
Yeah, so it's definitely doable, just with practice and stuff like that.
So that's your goal before 40.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm counting. I'm counting. I'm holding you accountable for that.
Yeah,
then.
for sure. Watch out.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. A lot of people on my channel wonder about the social aspect of eating this way, this lifestyle. I mean, there are very few people who eat like us. Did you encounter social issues within maybe your circle, your family, and how did you navigate those?
Yeah. So initially, I didn't really have anybody supporting me whenever I was making this change, and I had close friends kind of laughing at me, not in a evil way, just kind of just making jokes. So I didn't really have any support in that sense, but I didn't really mind because I was seeing all the benefits to my health, my energy, and my skin from making the switch, that it didn't really bother me too much. And I kind of got around all the sort of feeling of isolation just by making foods for my friends, because who doesn't want food? Who doesn't want food? And in terms of my family, they didn't really mind too much either, especially my mom, because she saw what it was like for me to grow up suffering with these awful boils, in and out of doctors, getting antibiotics and stuff like that. So whenever I was explaining to her this is helping me, etc., she didn't really give me pushback. But generally speaking, I know some people find it hard to eat out whenever they're fruit based or vegan, etc. And it really does depend on the stage you're at. But I think no matter where you're at, you can find something to do socially, especially whenever it comes to food. Even if I'm only eating fruits, I could just go to a smoothie bar. Yep. You know what I mean? I can go to a juice bar, invite friends around for smoothies and juices, etc. Even in regular bars, you could just get juice.
That's true.
So easy. And if you're still eating raw to 4 potatoes and rice and stuff like that in the evening, there's especially in places like London, there's places you can go, you know what I mean? There's places you can go, you don't even have to worry about it. So the social aspect, if you're struggling with that, maybe you feel isolated and alone, just reach out to go to a local vegan group, an activist group, and yeah, reach out, like host a meetup or something like that, and you'll definitely, you know, meet like minds, kind of like me and you right now.
Yeah. A random coincidence, but he's staying in my town, so he reached out, and here we are.
Yeah, I was like, why not sort of connect with someone who's doing the lifestyle? So
Yeah, awesome.
amazing.
And final question, because I know you're traveling back. You are on the move. You've been on the move out of your country since
Yeah.
since when? When did you arrive?
7. Oh, as in like in.
From home.
Oh, from here.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I thought
This
you meant, I thought you
weekend.
meant, like,
No.
my whole origin.
No.
I
This
thought,
weekend.
Yeah, this is my third day. Here.
Okay, so you've been on the move for 3 days now. How do you manage on your lifestyle?
Okay, so because I practice the Mucusless diet healing system, where the philosophy is systematically transitioning your diet from the worst foods of civilization to more of the cleanest, healthiest, nourishing foods, which is the fat-free fruits, starchless vegetables, and leafy greens. And this is a philosophy put forth by Arnold. I've been systematically transitioning my diet over the past 5 years, where it went from 50 days in a year dedicated doing fat-free fruits, starchless vegetables, and leafy greens, whether cooked or raw, all the way up to last year doing 274 days in the whole year, with my longest streak being 3.5 months. So my goal this year is to do 310, so 305 to 310 days. So that gives me a bit of flexibility, because in my head, I know I have 55 to 60 days where I can eat like the potatoes and the rice and stuff like that. So whenever I travel, it's always a mix of either fully raw days. Like yesterday I had it was probably over like 12 kilos or something watermelon. It was a huge watermelon, and I was just done after that. And I think I had a liter of orange juice, and then I had almost a kilo of dates. So after that I was like, I'm done. I'm good. But today it's been like a huge watermelon, and then later on I've had some like rice and vegetables and like a low fat sauce, like a gluten-free soy sauce. So I'm mixing it out as I'm keeping mindful of the days I have to do for fruits and greens and the days I have for the starches, etc. So
Do you think it's more expensive to eat the way you do and to live the way you do?
I think I'm worth it.
Hey.
I think I'm worth it. I don't think it is, because if you factor in that I don't like drink like alcohol, so I'm not buying like cigarettes, etc.
Do you drink coffee?
I don't drink coffee. What fruit, like, I'm not to throw shade or anything. I'm not throwing shade at anyone, but I don't think I really know any fruit-based people who drink coffee.
I think only the ones who are transitioning away from.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe the ones who are transitioning, but I don't think I've ever met someone in real life who's like, yeah, I eat a fruit-based lifestyle. I also drink coffee. It's very rare. So, but no, I don't drink any coffee. In fact, it gives me a headache whenever I drink coffee, like a couple of minutes later. So do you know that headache people get whenever they stop after like they've been doing it for like decades? I get that 3 minutes after I stop a coffee.
Not worth it.
Not worth it whatsoever. No, I've got tons of energy from the fruits, from the juices, the smoothies, fruit melons and berries and some veggies, you know. So yeah, I've never felt like I needed coffee at all. I just need more sleep, more water, more fruits. I don't need coffee.
Okay, final question. Health is not just one thing. It's not just the fruits and the vegetables, or it's not just the diet. It's lots of other pillars and factors. So what are you working on in order to raise your health game? And what advice would you give for others who want to incorporate some of the things that you do to maintain your current healthy lifestyle?
Okay, so apart from systematically transitioning my diet and actually sticking to that, meditating. I've been really focused in on trying to meditate every single day for at least 20-25 minutes every single day. I've got like a little habit tracker where I'm like,
Nice.
taking it off and stuff like that. And as well, trying to make time for socializing. I know sometimes we can get into this mode where it's like, I just want to be in the just want to be in my room and learn and stuff like that. But I know for me personally, like just socializing, connecting with people on the lifestyle, it's just so huge to your overall sense of well-being in life in general. Because a lot of your happiness are going to come from obviously your internals, but having that community and having that those relationships in your life is going to make a massive difference to your overall mental health. And the thing that I could work on, so just put myself out there, is definitely being more consistent with sleep. Because sometimes I've got ideas and I'm trying to figure them out, and I'm up, quite late. So consistency with sleep is something I really could die with, if I'm being super, super honest. I feel like everything else in terms of like my diet, my hydration, my fitness, etc., is pretty much solid level. Obviously, I could still dial it in more, but sleep is definitely something that I need to sort of work on more and to be more consistent with that.
And your advice for my audience, how they can implement some of the pillars that you have established for your health life?
Awesome. Yeah, I would definitely say treat it like a game in which you're not going to be hard on yourself if you aren't perfect. I don't really like the mindset of trying to be perfect from day one. I think it's all a transition. It's all working towards just making those 1% gains over the course of a year. And if you keep doing that over the course of a year, you're going to make drastic improvements. But certain things you can do is like starting the day off with fruits. I think regardless of what else is in your day, if you can start your day with fruits, I think that's pretty good. Or a smoothie with greens in there. That's a really good way to get the fruit and greens combo first thing in the morning. I think waking up and actually hydrating first with water, with like 500 mils to a liter, depending on your size, depending on your activity level. I think that's a really, really good habit to sort of develop. Trying to include some raw greens in your day, regardless of what you eat, even if it's like a takeaway. Like I would like, even if it's
takeaway.
Yeah, no, for example, like say you're gonna get a takeaway, and it's a little bit more junkier, and you know that. Even incorporating like a raw salad beforehand is going to help that digest. It's going to help alkalize the body a little bit more. And I find that for me, it's a good practice because you'll feel like, okay, even though, I'm not eating the most ideal food, I'm still developing a system in place. And then at some point, the takeaway can reduce and I can swap it out for something cleaner. So I think definitely transitioning your diet, transitioning your lifestyle, and being systematic in making these incremental changes so that they can last you a lifetime versus something you do, gung-ho, and then all of a sudden you stop and you sort of never go back to it. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. And find someone to do it with, like as in find like an accountability partner, someone that can hold you to the fire if you are sort of not doing the things you said you were going to do. So I think that would be very beneficial.
100%. Thank you so much, Clinton. Thank you for coming on the Raw Food Glow and sharing your journey with us.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much for having me. Everybody keep transitioning.
Amen. But before we leave, can you tell us where my audience can find you?
So you can find me on my YouTube channel, Fruit Kid, and on Instagram is Fruit Kid as well. So both handles, Fruit Kid _ I'll be there.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Yay.
Awesome.
That was cool. Yeah. Thank you.